Hello, it's Jakob from Flamingo Fixed. Today I am building a new bike, an Orbea Orca frame that I got used, but in newish condition. So far it's only been ridden 3,000 kilometers, so the frame basically still looks like new. I will build it with the SRAM Force group set and some cheap carbon parts from AliExpress. I've got all the tools ready, I've got almost all the parts here. The only things I'm missing is new tires and a chain. But I will start building anyways. Since I still do not own a bike stand, I put the frame in my trainer and the fork on an old box where I also placed my tools. Now, I already prepared a couple of things. For example, I had to adapt the headset spacers here and the top cap for these handlebars because Orbea was using some proprietary stuff, and I filed a bit of plastic away to make it fit. For the cranks I might have to adjust the preload later. I think it's not perfect yet. The frame was formerly set up for Shimano Di2, so I had to remove all the cables, which was quite a lot of work, and also had to remove the brake hoses. Okay, this might be trickier than I thought, because of course these new brake hoses are very springy and very bent. Let's see. Maybe that makes it easier even. I hope it fits now. I had to take off quite a bit of the top cap to make it fit with the handlebar and stem. But now it should work. I don't know why, but the camera keeps turning itself off. Now the installation should be kind of easy. Okay, that's it. That was not as difficult as I expected. I mean, besides the filing of the top cap, this was pretty, I wouldn't say easy compared to external cables and stuff, but also it wasn't really difficult. I expected way worse. It's the first bike I have with fully internal cable routing, including inside of the bars. I need a new camera, I think. This turns itself off every couple of seconds. I switched to a different camera. I don't know how the angles are now. I can't see myself anymore. So if everything looks a bit weird, that's the reason. This already looks pretty cool. Where's my... Oh. More or less. That's not enough. Let's try it. This was annoying. The brake hose that I have seems to be a tiny bit oversized. It fits, but it's really hard to handle, and this took forever. But now I have the brake hose connected to the lever. Now I will do the rear brake, which will probably also take quite a lot of time with this brake hose. And then I can start with the front derailleur and the rear derailleur. Let's hope this is a bit quicker than the attachment on the front. I think I have to remove the bike from the trainer real quick because I can't really access the rear brake like this. But then it should be done. I cleaned up a little bit, drank some tea, and now we can continue with the easy part. The gears. Since everything is wireless, basically only need to find your tools and screw them on. You can even do this sitting down. This is very relaxing. These are the adjustment tools. Now I just need to remember how to use them, but I will probably find out. It is the next day. I had some problems yesterday. As I might have told you already, I got most parts for the bike used. So the frame, which was in pristine condition basically, but also the group set. The front and rear derailleur were fine, cleaned and came here well packed and everything. The shifters and the brakes, the rear brake had the problem that I couldn't push the pistons properly back in, and the screw for the bleed port on the brake lever was a bit round, so I couldn't get it out, and it was really annoying to clean everything, and this took me forever, something where I thought I wanted to bleed the brakes, and I thought it will take me probably half an hour or maybe maximum an hour, since I haven't done that very often, and in the end it took me 4 or 5 hours to figure everything out, to clean everything. But now it's done. I bled the brakes off camera and also already put the wheels in the frame. So basically now what's left to do for me is wrapping the bar tape, and then I have to wait for the tires and the chain before I can finish everything. But yeah, those are the last 3 steps. And the bar tape I have here, that's something I will do now. I'm not very good at wrapping bar tape, so don't look too closely. Yeah. Okay, that's it. The bike is ready. Unfortunately, I got sick, so I couldn't pick up new tires and a new chain yet. So I put on some old 25mm tires that I still had laying around, and YBN chain that was also in one of my boxes. But it should be rideable now. Unfortunately, I will have to wait another couple of days before I can try and test ride this thing. Not the best timing to build this new bike. Including my Garmin power meter pedals that I don't have on here right now. The whole bike weighs 7,395 grams, which is kind of decent, I guess, for having a kind of heavy wheel set. As I told you before, setting up the whole brakes was a little bit difficult. Pushing in the pistons, there was a lot of dirt and everything. I might bleed the brakes once again. I'm not sure if it's perfect yet, but that's something I can do after the first test ride. But for now, the bike is doomed to just sit here in the corner and wait for me to be healthy enough to go out and ride my bike again. Yeah, that was the vlog about me building this new bike, and I will make another one the first time I take it for a ride. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, watch some of the other videos, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the first ride with this bike, and stay healthy and safe out there in the winter. Bye.